Good evening. We are again here gathered tonight to talk about the organizations of architecture. We know very well that architecture are these building houses and buildings, big buildings. So in the history, we have we have seen that we have different kinds of arts in terms of architecture is concerned. Example, number one, we have the Egyptian architecture. So this is the arts pertaining in the Greece and Rome's, or more or less in European countries. So the style of these buildings, for example, the pyramids and its temples in Egypt. So ito yung mga pyramid kung saan nililibing yung mga royal bloods nila. So sa paggawa nila ng ganitong mga buildings, ito yung mga matitibay na bato, stones, big stones, matitibay na semento, at yung style na ginamit nila ay yung pangharian talaga. And then we have also the Mesopotamian architecture. So ito naman ay ang tinatawag natin na this is more of palace and temples. We have different kinds of arts using the bricks naman ito. And then another is the Greek architecture. Or as we said, this is the Egyptian temples. The Greek architecture is also using different kinds of materials. And then we have also another is Roman architecture. So in building churches, they are using these materials, and the style is really allowing the Romans to build their magnitude. So in terms of the building, so if you go to Rome, makikita mo yung mga pabilog na style. And then we have also the Byzantine architecture. Ito yung parang mosque ng mga Muslim. So, and then we have also the Western architecture in the Middle Age. Ito naman yung pinapatayo nila na it is like a Roman basilica na rectangular ang gawa ng building. So we have other kinds also of architecture. We have also the early Christian architecture. So this is more of the Roman houses. And then we have also the Romanesque architecture. These are all built it's like churches na pahaba. Katulad nito. And then we have also the what we call Renaissance architecture. It's more of the cathedral and temple, longer in typical building. And then we have the Baroque architecture, and then we have the other 13th century architectures are also, we have the modern architecture and the Philippine architecture. So if you go to Manila, you have seen a lot of arts or building. We have the St. Augustine Church, we have the Santo Tomas Church, the San Sebastian Church, I should say, and all others. So we have different kinds of style, the Philippine culture. Based from the history, we have also the cultural center of the Philippines, built built in 1986. The architect is Mr. Leandro Locsin. So dito makikita mo na ang architect na ito ay, ang style nito ay sa Philippine history of architect it is based from what we call itong mga from the Spanish and the Americans concepts. So they have put up all these buildings adapting also their style. But the Philippine architect landscaping, we have evidence wherein it is a small traditional made up of nipa hut, wood, bamboos, grasses, and all other native materials. So in terms of landscaping, there's no problem because they have adopted that system sa landscaping. So in terms also of the Japanese and the Chinese, kung makikita mo, marami tayong makikitang mosque o parang simbahan ng mga Chinese na may mga designs na katulad nito. So I did not well discuss all the different kinds of the history of other countries, but more only of the Philippine, basing the Philippine architecture. So we know very well that the Philippine architecture is being adapted, as I've said, from the Spanish and the Americans and Japanese as well. So ganun lang kasimple. So again, good evening.